Welcome to the KFP podcast. You are now listening to the IT specialists for Europe's retail and hospitality industry, providing listeners with the latest technology, service and IT industry updates. KFP is the company that provides value to the biggest and best retail and hospitality brands across the world. You are now live with the KFP team.
So, John, welcome. Good to have you on the podcast. Look, John, it's been a difficult year for many in 2020, not just retail and hospitality businesses in particular, but for many businesses across the spectrum. I think what a lot of our viewers would like to know is as a business, how has KFP adapted to the COVID-19 situation?
Well, Aaron, I think that's a great question. I'm not sure I've got all the answers, but the way I look at this is, though, this was the COVID-19 was the volcano nobody knew existed. We didn't know it was coming, and I think, if you don't know something's coming, how do you plan and how can you be resilient against that? And I think that comes from the experience of positions like myself as CEO, as a business owner, and all the senior managers in the business. And the teams around you. That's the only way you can have experience of how to deal with issues you don't know are coming. During the first lockdown, I made a really decision to pay our staff at 100% when furlough was brought in. And I'll be honest, the management team pushed back on me heavily on this. But it's of my opinion that you need to invest back in the people who invest in you. Now, I sort of understand that people are going to say to that, my answer there, that, well, how do we do that when we've got no money coming in? Well, I'm quite animated in my response to that in the first furlough period. If a company can't afford to top up 80% paid by the government to 100%, well, I genuinely feel you need to look at the longevity and the business model you've got. And, and also, if you're going to keep all the money in the business, you might not have any staff left anyway. So that's the way I looked at it. Now, I don't think everybody will necessarily agree with that, but I truly believe that that is what we should do as a business. And that's what KFP did. I think we invested heavily in the business in the COVID world of temperature checking equipment. Now, if I go into that more, I'll be honest, I didn't have a clue what temperature check equipment was. I've never been involved in anything like that.
Yeah, we had to learn a lot. Yeah.
Exactly what you're saying there. And the only reason I really got involved, and I'll be very open and honest, during the lockdown period, there was a time when you could meet customers, and I went out for lunch with a customer and the Ivy at Wimbledon Village. And I walked in there and there was a temperature gauge where you just looked at it and it said, temperature 36.4, nice green bar, and you walked in. And I thought that was great technology. No, I don't know who installed that technology, but it was really good. So we went away and we implemented exactly the same. There's no point putting something else in if somebody's already done the hard work. It had a software solution, the hardware. It was done by Hikvision, and I think we've got some things on our website which talk about that temperature equipment. We went into the office. We installed Perspex screens between the desks. We put sanitizer everywhere. We've got more pumping sanitizer than Tesco probably have got, but we've had to do that for our customers who came here, and also our internal staff, which are as important. We've increased our cleaning with professional firms. So whether everybody knows exactly how to clean that, I don't know, but we've used the right people in the right places, and that's all we can do as a business. I think we've tried to work with our customers as well as much as we can, because, we've got contracts with these customers, and we've had to look at, maybe stalling costs and moving costs to an end of a contract and working with them, because a lot of our customers, certainly in the hospitality and retail sector, have had zero income unless it's from an e-commerce platform. So, we've done that, and we've worked with everybody in an individual case. So in a way, it's a bit like throw the contracts in the bin, work with your customers, because we all need to get through this together.
Yeah, it's actually funny you touch on that a little bit, because we know that retail and hospitality particularly has been hit significantly hard during 2020 in particular. There's a lot of talk about, once we come out of the second lockdown, about everyone going back to the high street, obviously in a safe manner. But what else can we do to really help retail and hospitality businesses during this time, from now all the way through to January?
Well, I'd like to say I've got every answer for you, Aaron, but I'm not sure I have. But I think I've got a couple. It's I think if you take what our UK Chancellor Rishi Sunak has said, not everybody's going to survive, and that's a massive shame. And there is no magic wand, and certainly not for those smaller independent retailers. They depend on those daily sales and staff wages to pay the staff wages, to pay the bills. Well, and they make small profits, and and I can really understand this. For some people who know me very well, they know I used to have a computer store in Oxfordshire. You need that daily money coming in, and you don't have the big credit lines, and they need help. But when things do start to open back up again, and hopefully that will be pre-Christmas, we need to look at the things that the bigger corporate companies are doing to help the smaller business, and they are out there. You can look at, for example, American Express have got, the help the small business programs, which give credit back to customers when they're spending on their Amex. There's websites like Easy Fundraising, where you can raise funds for local community organisations whilst you're getting value for money. And I think you know me very well, and if I can be really bold and probably put my neck on the line, because as you know, I'm not one to sit on the fence. Let's go and boycott Amazon for a while and buy direct. Retailers pay huge sums of money to sell goods on Amazon. Everybody just thinks Amazon sells it. Retailers pay to be on there as well. Let's go and buy direct. Let's bargain for a better price. You can't bargain on the internet. So, let's go into our local shops, into the high street, do deals. Retailers, they might turn you away if you ask for a discount, but it's something you can't do on the internet, and somebody will take your money. So I think, it's we need to go back a few steps and, and work with, more local people and bring everybody back up to where we were before. Don't get me wrong, there's a place for the Amazons of this world. But I truly believe if we're going to turn the retail hospitality sectors around properly, we need to look after the smaller independents, as well as looking after that supply chain to those independents. I've not just the retailers. I feel really sorry for the exhibition people. They've had zero income for most of this year, and we need to do things to help all these people.
Okay, so just to summarise on that, shop local if you can. Go to the high street as soon as it's open and safe to do so, and support local businesses.
Well, that would have been a lot quicker if I think I would have said that, Aaron. So I totally agree with you.
No, it's all good stuff, John. In terms of our own IT engineers in Europe during the pandemic, it must have been hard to offer the same levels of service in a time that was so difficult to navigate around each European nation state with all different rules and regulations. I know France was in lockdown at a particular time, but Germany was open. Holland was open, but Spain was on their second lockdown. How did we manage that as a business?
And I think that's a really very relevant question in our sector, because that has been probably the hardest part of where we've been. As you say, we've got customers all over the EU, we've got customers outside of the EU, and I think the biggest thing for us is that it's the flexibility we have within KFP, which has managed to deliver the same level of service from 4-hour SLAs in Poland down to next day in Germany, for example. It's really helped us having, full-time staff in Spain, in France, in Ireland, and in all the 4 nations in the United Kingdom. And that's helped us, still deliver that level of service. And with our partners as well, we have partners out there who have helped us as well to, keep doing what we're doing. We've had a lot of stores shut at any given time, so we've been able to move people around. I think that for me, the biggest reason we've got through where we have got to today is the workforce that we've got. It's so loyal, it's crazy, to be honest with you. they've got a maverick of somebody like myself, a CEO, who I don't take no for an answer, as you're aware. Our operations team who have to battle against my flamboyant style, as well as keeping all the staff and everybody safe. A sales team who, they can't meet anybody either. So we've got an amazing, group of people who have got to where we are today. We're nowhere near perfect, and I don't think anybody who says they are is telling the truth. But it's how you respond to those issues and move around. And I think we've survived very well during what has been the most difficult part of business I've ever been involved in the last 24 years of owning businesses.
You've also managed to recruit during this time as well. More engineers, extra finance staff.
We have
successful previous year. How have we managed to do that?
So one of the things we did, we took the opportunity when there was, let's not forget, there's the word Brexit involved in all this still as well. There's funding out there to help companies grow and, go forward, and we've taken grants which are available, and we've recruited new people into finance, into the warehousing, to be able to fulfill our European business after December. We must not forget COVID is going to go away, or it's going to be treatable. Brexit is here to stay. That is as important. So we've been sort of balancing both as we've gone along and bringing new staff in, because we have taken on new contracts during this time. There is still lots of business out there, and for us to fulfill, and that's what we've been doing.
So final question for you, John. What does 2021 look like for KFP?
Yeah, that's an unfair question. If anybody ever knows that answer, well, I'd like to talk to them, but I've got a few things there. And, I think where do I start with this? I think we've got many amazing customers already in our portfolio, and, we've got to look after those, but we will be bringing more in. And one of the things we've done to help 2021, we redistributed all our company funds from the business, which were sat with the sales team, sat with myself, and we put it all over to you, Aaron. Basically, you have the funding. We can't meet people anymore at the moment. Hopefully that will change soon. So we've concentrated on the increasing our web presence and doing all the social media, even things to like we're doing to today. This doesn't sit natural with me talking to a screen with you somewhere at the other end. I want to be in front of people like all our salespeople do, but that can't happen. We've had Retail Expo and all the shows we do, we can't go to them. So we've basically reinvested everything into our marketing team which obviously you head up, and to take us into 2021 and beyond. We've got developments in Ireland, which a few of you who follow us on LinkedIn will be noticing. Things are going on there, which we'll tell you more about in January. And that's an exciting, different sector in the technology place, which we're going into. Our pipeline is really, really strong. Our sales team have been working flat out, whilst, not always hitting targets at the moment, but you can't always hit targets in life. You have to take us back seat now and again and just plan and move forward. And I think that's where we are, Aaron, to be honest. I don't know what we're going to do next year, but I know it's going to be a strong year.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be exciting.
Very.
John, thank you very much for that. That was awesome. Some great responses there, and I think it's very much a great insight into KFP, but definitely the plans going forward as well. So, look, John, good to have you on the podcast, and look, we'll speak very soon.
Will do. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thanks for listening to the KFP podcast. Visit our website for more information at www.kfpit.com.